Season 2, a group of people are going to attack the Kamsidana Theater, and this might be related to the Kumlak Church. Our main heroes are out on the road and only have one meat cooking, and they fight over who gets to eat it. The group we met earlier is at the Kumsadana Theater attacking the monsters there. Now back to our main characters again, who Magic tries to eat the meat and also gets his hand almost cut off by the other two, not allowing him to eat it yet. Orphen and Magic lose and they hear the screams and fighting from the Kamsidana Theater and go to help in hopes that the reward will be food. This first episode in season 2 is our main characters meeting Lady Machen and the others who will be characters in season 2, but it's just mainly Lady Machen because everyone else dies. This sets up the plot for what's to come. The building they are in introduces demons and angels. So in this world, we have dragons, devils, demons, and angels. We also learn more about Orphen's world of magic. So episode 1 is kind of similar to a pilot that would be in a season 1. Just our heroes are meeting new characters like Lady and Machen, and we get more of a background on the world the show takes place in. Orphen makes a deal with Machen that he will help her escape the theater and help her with her kind of quest there, and in return that she will escort them to Kumlak. Episode 2 picks up where episode 1 left off, with us rescuing one of Machen's crew members, but it ends up this person's dead. So now it's just the 4 of them. We learn the theater was ordered to be burnt down by the king, who didn't like the Demon King play that performed 200 years ago. They tried to find the doll that lured them down into the theater. Everything here in the theater is related to Nori. The group gets separated and we learn Machen might have been there to learn the truth about the devils and angels, which the doll thinks that Orphen is there for that reason and lures him to the Demon King to get tested to learn the truth. Orphen finds Magic, but he is out and is unconscious, and a bunch of dolls and flying dogs appear to attack them. Cloudmatch comes out of nowhere and takes out the doll who is going to attack Orphen, freeing Machen. Magic wakes up and all 4 go against the dolls, but mainly Orphen takes them out. The doll who has a message from 200 years ago shows Orphen the Demon King play. In the Demon King play, it seems more like a history lesson than an actual performance. I guess it's maybe a warning on what's to come, and this doll showing Orphen the Demon King play is like, hey, this is what happened 200 years ago. It's still relevant today. Be aware of this. The theater sinks into the ground, and the heroes are saved by Azuli, who, like last season and season 1, comes and shows up a once in a while so far. Death Instructor is what Machen is, meaning she kills every sorcerer she comes across, but she didn't kill Orphen and even made a deal with him, mainly because we learned that Machen doesn't really like the Kulak Church and she is going against them. Machen tells them since they are still hungry that she can feed them at the inn that she uses as her base. So our heroes in the end did get what they wanted. They went to the theater to be heroes like they are and be rewarded food, which they are getting. Episode 3 opens with there being a traitor in the church, as well as also could be just Childman himself is dead. We're not really sure. We just know that the Kulak Church thinks that someone has died when maybe they didn't, or maybe they have, just us as the audience members as well as our main characters don't know that this person has died yet. But this opening sets up more of a season 2 plot on what's going on in the church and people not liking sorcery. Before it's ready to leave for Kumlak, Orphen teaches Magic sorcery and combat training. Orphen gets mad at Magic and Loa makes a comment about it, which Orphen is now hard on Magic because how Childman was hard on him. We learn not only is the church the villain, but Po is as well, who we met earlier in this episode. Po is a death instructor like Machen. Machen is going against the Kumlak Church because the people are poor while the church is rich, and she doesn't want to be part of that anymore. But she also isn't a fan of sorcery, so it's like she half supports Kumlak now, and then she half doesn't. The old man tells Orphen not to go to Kumlak since he might die there. We get to see a church service, which is so messed up. Alza mental projects or tries to and fails by Kimlock having a defense against sorcerers because they don't like them and they want them out of their city. Our heroes are on their way to Kimlock and Orphen has to be careful not to expose himself as a sorcerer, which he always wears the sorcerer necklace that he has, which now he doesn't wear anymore just to fit in. Only Orphen and Machen go to Kimlock. We learn on this cart ride, Childman attacked Kimlock Church 10 years ago and learn more about the role of a death instructor. There is a wall around the church in Kimlock. Inside the walls, it's called the Holy City, and outside it is where the poor people are and buildings are collapsing. Orphen and Machen's cover is blown when Clea comes out of the box and asks Lucky to use his magic when Orphen has to use magic to stop Lucky from destroying the town. So if it was just only Orphen and Machen going into Kimlock, they would have been successful. They maybe would have gotten a few stares from people saying, oh, who's this orphan kid right here? But they would have made it. Whether they would have been successful in their mission, we don't know, but they definitely wouldn't have been discovered. Where, of course, Magic and Clea are there as well now. They got out of their hiding spot and was like, hey, you guys are making too much noise out here. What's going on? And they're like, oh, whoops, sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt everything. But while we're here, let us use magic to help you. And Orphen is like, no, we don't need your saving. You shouldn't have done this. And yeah, they just totally blew their cover. And now, next episode, in the future few episodes, it's going to be, oh, there's this sorcerer, and we can't believe that our lady Machen has teamed up with sorcerers. How could you betray us like this? And that's basically what it is. This past 3 episodes were basically a whole entire pilot on learning more about the world of the show as well as what's going to happen now in season 2. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.